They saying Mike's about to blow though. Tell me something that I don't know. With the crowd bouncing like bogles. You can come on the tour bus, just please no photos. Up the ride like Somo. Cause we be going off on the off nights. Cause I've been on every single song I put my pin on now. They don't know, or maybe they starting to. Cause I work so hard that it's hard to lose. That's why I'm taking that face to face. Got a bottle in my...
Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My skin is now feeling very smooth and very soft after that face mask. It was the L'Oreal Paris Pure Clay Detox Mask. Just looks like that. And then I used this little guy, which is just, I think it's silicone and exfoliator sort of thing. And I basically just wet it with hot water, screw it around my face, help to loosen the product and give my face a nice scrub at the same time. And I find this way better than a sort of cotton flannel because I know this is way more hygienic. I can sort of sterilize it with really hot water and soap, and I can use it as many times as I want. If you are interested, these are very, very cheap. I know you can get them from Sephora and you can also get them from Boots. So the first thing I do after I've had a face mask on is moisturize, and I'm going to go in with my Good Things Miracle Mattify Moisturizer. This is an amazing product because there are no harsh chemicals, it's not tested on animals, so it's vegan friendly, and this one has blackcurrant and goji berry, so it helps with blemishes, any redness. I find I get really, really red parts on my face here by the sides of my nose, so using this has really, really helped. So just to add some added protection to my skin, I'm going to go in with the La Roche-Posay 50 Plus SPF fluid, and this is just a much lighter weight consistency compared to normal sun cream, and obviously just helps my skin to stay looking younger for longer. So before putting any foundation on my face, I'm just going to let that sink in and I'm going to do my eyes. So I'm going to start with this NYX Highlight and Sculpt Duo. And I'm just going to take the lighter end and use that to prime my eyelids.
And I came to your town, we fell in love, and we burned it to the ground, and we could be together.
So usually day to day I use the Too Faced Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette, and it honestly does smell amazing, as everyone says. It is just a glowy chocolate bar. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is the number 73 crease shadow brush from Sephora, and I'm going to take this white chocolate colour here, which is just a whitish, it's white chocolate, so therefore it's a whitish colour. Anyway, I'm just going to set the concealer with the white chocolate colour all over my lids.
But I gotta leave soon. Everybody's listening now.
And then I'm going to go in with this salted caramel colour. Ooh, what is happening with the lights? I'm going to go in with this salted caramel colour here, which is just kind of a nudie brown with a sort of a hint of orange as well. And I'm just going to put that in my crease.
Oh, we got nothing to lose. When I met you in the summer.
Okay, so that colour is now in my crease, and I'm going to go in with a slightly darker colour here, which is Milk Chocolate. And I'm going to pop that everywhere that I just popped the other colour before. I find to get a really nice defined crease, you do actually have to use quite a few colours. Like, no matter how good of a product you're using, I find several colours moving from the lighter to the darker just really does help for the best crease. And the other thing I really would suggest is make sure you have invested in a decent brush for anything that you're using, but mainly for your eyes, because I used to use just some non-branded ones from Amazon, and even with this palette the brushes wouldn't pick up the pigment, so I was just literally just swiping nothing on my eye and moving the powder around in my palette. So I'd say the most important thing, it doesn't have to be like the most expensive brush. This was about 12 euros from Sephora, so I would say it really is worth it, because otherwise you're just not going to get any good use out of a palette like this. So the final colour I'm going to use is this Semi-Sweet, and this is just, ooh, the lighting is not my friend today. It's this Semi-Sweet chocolatey colour, and it's the darkest one I'm going to use, so I'm just going to stick towards my outer V.
When I met you in the summer, when I met you in the summertime with your fine ass, Merlot in that wine glass, she dope as hell.
So I'm going to go in with this marzipan colour here, and I am just going to use my finger, because I find when I want a thick metallic colour on my eyes, my finger's actually the best tool, because it picks up the most product and completely transfers it onto my eyelid. I'm just going to do that. I'll come in a little bit closer so you can see.
From Jersey, baby. White girl, but the curves are crazy, and she up all night like Adderall. She like sushi too, we compatible. And these other guys average, so they mad to know, cause I'm ill like a...
And then I'm just going to take my crease brush again and blend that out.
Got cover girls in my room, but they don't need no makeup though. They just try...
I am going to curl my eyelashes and pop on some mascara. The mascara I'm using today is the Revlon Dramatic Definition, which is just this one here. I'm just going to go in and curl my eyelashes. I'm not one that likes to do several different positionings with my eyelash curlers, because I find that it just makes my eyelashes point in all different directions, and then applying mascara is just a no-go. So I like to just put it quite far down deep to the root and just pulse with my eyelash curler. And this is what the brush looks like of the mascara. It's one of those quite rubbery, flimsy ones.
Live too fast to take it slow. Got summer flings and these summer things, but we just making memories. Just promise you'll remember me in that time when I met you in the summer, and I came to your town.
And that is 2 coats done with this mascara. I'm an absolute sucker for long lashes, so I will put as many coats on as I want with the mascara until I feel like I've used it to its full potential. So I'm going to move on to foundation now, because that SPF has sunk into my face, and I'm going to be mixing 2 foundations today. I'm going to be using the Bourjois Healthy Mix, and this is in the shade number 53 Light Beige, and then I'm using my Bobbi Brown Long Wear Even Finish, and this is in the shade 3.5 Warm Beige. This one is sort of like my natural colour, and the Bobbi Brown one is darker, but it's also slightly orange, so I can't use that all over my face.
We fell in love, then we burned it to the ground.
And then I'm just going to go in with my Real Techniques buffer brush and sort of lightly buff it out and move the product about, and then I'll balance it out with my damp beauty blender.
We could be together, baby, but I gotta leave soon. Everybody's listening now, but we got nothing to lose. When I met you in the summer,
I'm going to go in again with my Sculpt and Highlight NYX Duo and take the light end again and just do the funny Aztec business that everybody does.
the summertime, the summertime, yeah, summer, the summertime, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I met you in the summer.
And then I'm just going to use my beauty blender again just to blend that all out.
saying Mike's about to blow though. Tell me something that I don't know. With the crowd bouncing like pogos. You can come on the tour bus, just please no photos. But they're out like Somo. Cause we be going off on the off nights. Cause I've been on every single song I put my pin on. No, they don't know. Or maybe they starting to. Cause I work so.
So as you can see, that concealer really does help to brighten everything, and I'm seeing fewer imperfections on my face, which is what we want. So I'm going to go in with my Sephora Mineral Foundation Compact, but I'm not actually going to use the sponge it comes with. I'm going to use my beauty blender again, and I'm just going to put that pretty much all over my face.
It's hard to lose. That's why I'm taking that face to face. Got a bottle in my hand, I'm facing that. Cause if winning is a habit, then I've been an addict. Every night it's cinematic. When you roll with us, and we won't live forever. But I will remember when I met you in the...
And that is my base pretty much all done. So I'm going to just top it off with some bronzer. You're going to have to excuse the state of my bronzer packaging because it is disgusting. This is... I think it's Rimmel, but there's literally nothing on the front. I don't know if you can see that. It's literally so broken. But it is the Sun Bronze bronzer in the shade 22. I just can't bring myself to get rid of it because there's so much product still left. So it's such a waste just because the packaging's broken. So I'm just going to use an angled brush and sweep that over kind of where I would usually contour, but also up onto my cheekbones as well, because it's not too orange, so it just gives you that sun-kissed look, and I can afford to bring it higher than a contour. And I'm also going to put it on my forehead as well.
And I came to your town. We fell in love, and we burned it to the ground. And we could be together, baby.
So moving on to the most important part of any makeup look, and that is brows. I use this packaging again, is absolutely gross. This is the collection, just 3 brow powders. It does come with a little clear gel thing, but I find it just stuck together like cement and I couldn't get it open at all, so I threw that away, and I'm just left with these 3 colours. And I pretty much always use the darker one, especially if I'm going for a more natural brow, because then I put less product on but it's just slightly darker. So I am growing my brows out at the moment, so excuse the state of them, but I'll just get all up close and personal to do my brows. So I give them a little comb through, and basically the way I like to do them is, if you can see there are some more sparse areas than others, I tend to darken the darker bits with quite a bit of powder and then use the excess on my brush to go over the more sparse areas, and it just gives a less sluggish brow look and a more natural but defined brow. So I'll try my best to show you exactly how I do that. So I'm going to start here, which is where the darkest point of my brow is.
Everybody's listening now, but we got nothing to lose. When I met you.
And I'd say again, the same with doing your brows, it's the brush that really matters and not the product. So my brush cost me, this is the Anastasia brow brush that everybody has. This is £15, but my product is actually like £2.99, and I'll show you the end result of my brows. It's what I use every single day.
When I met you in the summer.
So as you can see, it's pretty much the top and the beginning bits of my brows that I've not put any product. So if there is quite a bit of product still left on my brush, I'll just dab it off, and then I'm going to outline the curve and fill that in with slightly less product. I don't know if you can tell on camera. And then for the middle bit of my brow, I'm just gonna do some very light strokes from that line upwards.
Fine ass Merlot in that wine glass. She dope as hell from Jersey, baby. White girl, but the curves are crazy. And she up all night like Adderall. She like sushi too, we compatible. And these other guys average, so they mad to know. Cause I'm ill like a dragon roll. Got cover girls in my room, but they don't need no makeup though. They just trying to party. Live too fast to take it slow. Got summer flings and these summer things, but we just making memories. Just promise you'll remember me in that time I met you in the summer.
And this is the final brow. So like I said before, I really think it is all to do with your brush and not necessarily your product, because I have tried the Anastasia dip brow and I can get on with it, but I find that this just suits the type of brow that I prefer much better. So I'm just going to pop some lip balm on. This is the EOS Pomegranate. So this is the final look. This is what I tend to wear day to day when I am wearing makeup, or on a day like today when I just need a bit of sparkle and a bit of a pick-me-up because the weather is so gross. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!